I'm Tristan Dupepe, and I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, breast cancer, at the age of 42. I had a bilateral mastectomy, followed by chemo and radiation, and I was treated at the St. Tammany Cancer Center and at Mary Bird Perkins. I'd like to say thank you to the staff at the St. Tammany Women's Pavilion, especially Dr. Fitton and Dr. Daly. I'd also like to thank the team at the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery, Dr. Trahan and Dr. Ordon. Well, I'd like to thank the team at the St. Tammany Cancer Center as well. Dr. Cotty. I'd like to thank my chemo nurse, Kim, who was wonderful. And I'd like to thank the team also at Mary Bird Perkins, Dr. Bermudez, Dr. Morange, and all of the great staff there who helped me through that. I'd also like to thank Dr. Craig Landwehr and Amy Coons, a special friend in CRNA who was there for both of my surgeries. I'd like to thank Dustin, my husband, and my wonderful children who went through this whole journey with me, stood by me, helped me to keep moving forward, and they showered me with love. I'd like to thank my parents, siblings, and in-laws who took great care of me and helped keep things moving in the house when I couldn't. I'd like to thank the Turtles, my Bible study group, who helped keep my focus on our Lord and His love carrying me through this very difficult challenge. I'd like to thank my workout cheerleaders, specifically Elke, Kristen, and Melissa, who cheered me on every day as I continued to build my physical health. Also, my wonderful neighbors who kept my family's tummies and hearts full with their daily support, as well as my many friends who helped me laugh when all I wanted to do was cry. Also, all of those who have dealt with cancer and offered their encouragement and support along the way. And finally, most of all, God for the strength and love that He gives us every day. I learned that with the strength and support of wonderful family and friends, and with a strong faith, I was able to do things I never thought were possible. I took things one day at a time and made it through to the other side, more blessed than I was before. My advice to anyone battling cancer is accept the help that is given to you. This is a wonderful community full of people who care and love and want to help. And sometimes it's hard to accept that help, but that love is real and they want to give it. My name is Tristan, and this is my story.
Hi everybody, I'm sitting here with Tristan Dupepe, who is part of the Unite class of 2023. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Lisa. Thank you.
You're so welcome. The audience can't see you, but you are absolutely stunning in this beautiful bright yellow shirt. It just kind of represents your personality as a ray of sunshine every time we see you. Tell me, how did you find out about Unite?
I had a few friends who participated in the past, and my doctors encouraged me to take this leap and try it out.
Is there a particular reason they felt like you should take this leap?
I'm not sure about that. I think just about anyone who's had to go through the trials of cancer could use the encouragement of being in communication with others who've been through a lot of the same things.
So you are you battling cancer now? You were diagnosed with breast cancer, correct?
Correct. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021, and I now have no evidence of disease.
Oh, that is excellent. Now it's time for you to spend some quality time on yourself, right? So maybe that's part of the reason you're doing this. As you know, we're an emotional healing program and a sisterhood of support. And when people sign up for our program, we ask them, how would you rate yourself emotionally? We say on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being not feeling good at all and 5 being great. You rated yourself a 5. I don't know if you remember that, but we really do, we welcome every, rating, of course. We find that the 5s kind of are just a great source of light and energy to those who are struggling. And so it's neat to have that, potpourri of experiences in the group. Has anything since January to June continued that evolution for you of transformation of how you feel emotionally?
I would still rate myself a 5. I feel like I'm in a good place. But I will say that I think I needed this more than I realized. It was nice to be able to open up to people who could understand. And a lot of times I feel like I'm protecting my family by holding things in and not sharing everything. But to be able to talk openly about it it helped me grow and understand things and feel even better.
To maybe process things you
Yes.
hadn't been, because maybe you're just already strong to begin with, but everybody does have experiences, and sometimes you don't relive them or visit them enough to know what you gained from those experiences too. So, well, Debbie had some questions for you also.
All right.
Hi, Tristan.
Hi,
I know you know who I am, but I'm Deborah Tongi. I'm the program director here at Unite. I think Unite fell in love with you at Candle Pass.
Okay, really?
I remember you walking into it was actually in my home, in my living room, and I thought, who is this beautiful, stunning person? And your smile is just so easy and so genuine, and I thought, there's a story here. There's something going on behind that beautiful face. You participated in SCART, which is one of our signature programs as well, where you got to represent your cancer scars on canvas. How did that go for you?
That was tough. My scars, the most visibles of my scars are on my backside. So I don't see them on a daily basis, but to take the time to examine them closely, it was difficult to think about, everything my body's been through physically. And my daughter asked me to see my scars at one point after things had healed up pretty well, and so I showed her I've got a scar across my backside, and she looked at it and said, "Oh, Mom, did they have to cut your legs off?"
Oh.
And to see it through her eyes and then re-examine through my own, it was a difficult process.
One of the reasons we use SCART as sort of an entree into the deeper, more intimate parts of what we call story crafting, it's just a good way to start the process, and then you've just completed 6 weeks of story crafting. And one of the first assignments is to identify a challenge that you want to write about. Women have many challenges in their lives, and many lives, in fact. What did you ultimately decide to write about? What was your challenge?
I decided to write about my cancer because for me that was the biggest challenge I feel like I've faced to date, because it was facing my own mortality. And as a mother, I feel like I'm the person who everyone relies on within my household. And of course we're a team and we all have our roles, but to have to step back and let go a little bit of the things that I like to control and I like to do, and let others take care of me as I was dealing with my cancer. It was all of it was a challenge.
Another part of the program is that you have to identify some sort of a symbol or a metaphor for the story that you're telling. Were you able to find that?
I did. I decided that a good metaphor for the way I feel sometimes is like a waitress balancing a giant tray full of delicate dishes and messy things, and wobbling around and trying to figure it out. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard, but just trying to keep a smile on my face and be there for those around me.
I think even women who haven't been diagnosed with cancer will find that they're able to relate to that analogy. And without further ado, we're going to let Tristan read her story, Life in Balance.
I'm living the life I always dreamed of as a little girl. God has blessed me in so many ways. I have a loving husband and a blended family with 4 amazing children. My parents and siblings continue to be a huge and wonderful part of my life, and I can't even think of any real complaints. I feel truly blessed. On a sunny day in June of 2021, I clearly remember thinking just that. 2 days later, I found a lump in my breast. As a mom, I often feel like a waitress balancing a giant tray of my family's needs, like delicate stemware and messy plates. I anticipate their needs with a smile and go above and beyond what is expected, like a professional who takes great pride in my work. Everything is carefully balanced. Occasionally my tray gets piled a little too high or starts to wobble when I hit a bump, but I'm happy to take on more of the load for the ones I love. My most difficult or challenging feelings stay carefully hidden so my loved ones don't have to go through any more pain than necessary. It was the night before Father's Day when I found the lump in my breast. Immediately I knew it was cancer, but I also felt a sense of peace that God was with me. Wanting to savor that last day of our normal life, I enjoyed Father's Day with our family without sharing my secret. That time was a true gift before everything changed. After a series of appointments and tests, while riding in the car with my sister, my doctor called and said those dreaded words, "You have cancer." I felt like the wind had been knocked out of me. When I told my husband, he was strong and ready to do whatever we needed to do. I was comforted to know that he was going to be there with me and help me through all the things we didn't even know were to come. Soon the decision to have a bilateral mastectomy with an S-gap reconstruction had been made. Then, surprise, 2 positive lymph nodes lead me to chemo and possibly radiation. As things progressed, I was overwhelmed with love and support. One of my friends organized a food train. Over and over I said, "No thank you, I don't need help." I'm so thankful that she completely ignored my words. Every day I felt the love of others. Some were close friends, and others were people I barely knew at the time. Friends cheered me on with each little stride I made rebuilding my physical health and laughed with me as I faced some of the crazy challenges that come with cancer treatment. God surrounded me with so much love, and I was lifted from what could have been a very dark time. Just before I lost my hair, I was able to enjoy a weekend at the beach with my college friends. With them, I felt like myself again. We laughed and relaxed and just enjoyed being together. When they left, I had my first breakdown. I remember being on my knees in prayer with a puddle of tears below me. It was the first time I was alone with my feelings and was able to let them out without fear of adding to anyone else's pain. I completed 4 rounds of chemo, but ringing the bell didn't feel like a victory. I decided that I needed to do everything in my power to make sure I could be here for my family as long as possible. Even though the jury was split on whether I should do radiation, I decided I needed to do it for my own peace of mind. Treatment's completed and on medications now. Others think it's over and done. Only other cancer patients understand that it's never really over. The thoughts and struggles are always there below the surface. The impact of cancer is now a part of me. It is not who I am or what defines me, but it is a part of me and something that shapes who I am today. My goal now is to treasure every day and live with purpose. Despite the challenges of cancer, I feel even more blessed than I did that sunny day in June of 2021, before this journey began. I still feel that I'm balancing the needs of those in my life, but not as an outsider, more like someone hosting a fabulous party, and we are all part of the celebration of each day. I feel privileged to have my family depend on me, but I've also learned that I can depend on them and allow them to care for me too.
So much for putting on paper what I think so many people need to read. What I love about this is that we all need to develop the skill of balancing challenge and support, and that we have to have equal amounts. If you're under challenged, you're bored, if you're over challenged, you're trying to keep your head above water. And so if cancer has taught you anything, I think it is that importance of being able to balance things. And I think your children and everyone in your life is going to benefit from this story.
Oh, well, thank you. It was difficult to write, but it felt good to put my thoughts and feelings down on paper.